Hello and good evening and welcome to the weekly workshop. It's a Wednesday evening. This one is pre-recorded. Every now and again something happens and I have to kind of deal with it. So I've got time to pre-record this one. So we're doing it that way this evening. So I'm hoping you enjoy it. Quite often, when I say quite often, I mean quite a lot. I get asked by people, because I talk about how I work with helping people make changes, and people say things like, "Oh, you can't change until you want to change," and if you're not ready to, or if somebody doesn't want to make a change, then they won't. And I thought I'd explore this a little bit. Because obviously part of the fundamental of I meditate is to provide the meditation side of things for relaxation and calm and relaxation. I've said relaxation twice, but hey, you can never have too much. For that inner peace, that quiet. Um, but obviously I meditate is also about personal growth and moving forward. And so it can be really useful to know what it is that leads us to the point of making a change, so as we know ourselves, when's the best time to act upon that? And the best time to act upon that is well, if you nail it, if you go, oh, there's something I just want to change it. It can be a little bit like New Year's resolutions. Kind of like be a good idea. Maybe I should. I mean, for a start, if you're thinking maybe I should, then you're not committed, are you, to the process? Um, or if somebody else keeps saying, "Oh, you need to change this, you need to change this," then again, you're not committed. If you're acting because they've told you to, rather than because you want to. But there's something more in change, something deeper in change, which is that we will only make a change, and a successful change, and quite often an easier change, when the desire to change is stronger than the desire to stay the same. Which, if you think about it, makes sense. There's a certain way of being, a certain way of behaving in your life, certain thoughts, whatever that is. Whilst it seems easier and the pleasure seems greater, weirdly, from staying the same, we're not motivated to change. Whilst we're like, oh yeah, it's something to do. When we get fed up, I mean, really fed up, or the behavior, the way of thinking, that attitude that we have becomes too much, it's causing us misery, then the desire to change gets stronger. And at a certain point, the scales tip. Yeah. So his desire to stay the same, his desire to change. And the more annoyed and more fed up, the more, I'm just going to swear, we are with the situation or the thing, the more that weighs heavy. And then we get to a point, once we go past that point, not only does it become easier to want to make that change, because now the perceived joy, the perceived happiness in life comes from things being different. We've all probably done that thing where I'm fed up of this in my life. Fed up. I need to change it. I need to do something different. And when we get to that point, that's the time. That's the time when you go, I'm going to make action. I'm going to take action. To do so before that, whilst the desire to say, and what is that desire? So the desire to stay the same is when that the outcomes and the experience of the behavior we're not so keen on, the thoughts we're not so keen on. See, I'm kind of repeating this, but I think it's always good to do it. If staying with that habit, that fear, that phobia, the stress, the worry, the anxiety is fulfilling a purpose for you. If being a certain way is fulfilling a purpose for you, then that can very much hinder the ability to change. Because whilst this makes me kind of okay, even if I don't like it, It's worth doing. A classic one is I had a friend of mine who had back problems, and he'd been signed off. He was on the sick. And his back wasn't getting much better. He wanted it to. He kept saying, "I'm fed up with this. I'm fed up with this. I wish it was different." But his work were paying him sick pay. So on one hand, having a bad back wasn't great, did limit him, but he was getting paid money for just being around the house and doing little. And so he kind of, on one hand, didn't like the back pain, was fed up with it, but he liked very much the fact he was getting sick pay. And even the doctors, I remember him at a point where he was saying, because I'd done some pain work with him, and he was saying that even the doctors are saying that by now they thought he would have moved forward. And then he uh, he messaged me the one day. He said, "Blooming heck, work have said they're stopping me sick pay, and if I want my job, I've got to get back in." 2 weeks later, his back was better. 2 weeks later, his back was better. I mean, that is because there was more perceived pleasure and a more perceived benefit by having, to start off with the perceived pleasure and benefit. It was better to have a bit of discomfort and be frustrated with it than it was to have to go into work to get paid. The moment they said they're going to stop his sick pay, suddenly getting paid was the payoff. That was the thing, money. And he's like, within 2 weeks, he was back at work. Pain and all bar gone. And it was because suddenly the desire to change outweighed the desire to stay the same. Because if he stayed the same at that point, he would have ended up losing his job. And it's amazing how because the perceived pleasure, the perceived payoff from a situation isn't always something that when you step back from it, you go, well, yeah, that makes sense. Um, it's perceived. It's not actually real. Um, but yeah, when you get to that point, like my friend did, where you get that shift of like the payoff, the benefit of being this way suddenly sinks below the balance, and the desire to change suddenly becomes very strong. And in that time, I remember we were chatting to him a bit after. He's like, "It's really weird." He said, "Last couple of weeks before I went back to work," he said, "I really started getting benefits from those pain seat audios you did for me." I said, "Did you?" It was. I never told him why I thought that was, but I think now, having talked about change and how that can be, I think that kind of illustrates the point very well. And there are many situations where it might not make logical sense for staying the same, because logically we're going, "Oh, I want to change this. I want to change this." But sometimes you want to change something and just don't seem able to. Start looking for what the payoff is. What is it it's giving you? Even if it seems a weird, twisted kind of payoff, um, look at it, and then look at making the desire to change, the payoff of the desire to change, the benefits. What's the benefit when I change? What's the benefit? How does it improve my life? How's it going to make you do that, and start making the idea of that change more and more and more attractive, brighter. And you can do it in your mind. You can picture yourself in your mind in the state of mind or in that better place you want to be in, and make it a really bright and amazing image. Make it a beautiful image and just revisit it every night. And you're slowly building up an inner representation of that change being something beautiful for you. And the more you do that and the stronger it gets, eventually that scale will tip. And the moment that tips, the moment the desire to change shifts from staying the same to wanting that change, rather than being, yeah, I should change, it'll be, I am changing. I'm stopping doing this. I am doing that. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do what it needs. And that's the other thing, when you get to that point, I don't care what it takes. I am going to do this. You feel that inner conviction. Suddenly the doubts and I'll try to make a difference. I'll try and do it differently. That disappears. So that's how we pinpoint, and that's how, like, when people come to me, I'm listening out. And you'll have those, for those of you who've had sessions with me, we'll do like an initial chat, and that initial chat is one of the things I'm listening for, is that conviction, that sign that says to me the desire to change now seems brighter and more attractive than the desire to stay the same. And if I'm hearing that, but if it's not, then I'm going to try and alter that in that conversation and shift that. So that's just a little bit about the nature of change and how to spot when the time is right for change. Because if you're aware of it yourself, you're aware from that point where you shift from going, oh, I should change, I should do it, to waking up one morning and going, oh, I've had enough of this, I'm heading this way now. Then the next step is to just act on it, to do something different that says I'm now heading that way. And let's use the example. Say you're a bit fed up with being, I don't know, bit disorganized, bit chaotic. And you kind of, your average day is you wake up and you go, oh God, I've lay in bed too long. I've got to get up. I've got to get on. And then you're late. And then you're late, just scraping in at work. And then you get back, and there's that hobby you've got, you want to get on with, but you can't because you didn't quite sort that out. And then if you carry on like this, and we can carry on like this for ages, does our own heads in. We've all done our own heads in. And you carry on, carry on. But only when the desire to make the change is better than desire to stay the same will that change happen. So one day you wake up, or one night before going to bed, I don't know, you've gone to do something, and where you wanted to do it's in a bit of chaos. You just go, right, I've had enough. This is changing. I've done my head in once too often now. That's it. So you wake up the next morning, you do one thing different. So you set your alarm half an hour earlier so you can be on time for work. That's one thing different. You're only ever one choice away from leading the life you want to lead. One decision. That decision is to make that change. And so you do that. And as you're at work, you get there early. Maybe you got time to have a cup of tea or whatever before you even start because you've got in nice and early. Next thing, right, get home tonight, first job. I'm going to tidy up that space so I can get on with the things I love. And you know what? You do it, you get home. And again, that's another choice, one choice away from where you want to be. Suddenly you get into the habit, because 9 times out of 10, it's about getting rid of old habits, whether it's ways of thinking or being, and replacing them with new, improved habits and ways of being that serve us better. Yeah, that's it. Do my thoughts, do my actions, do my behaviors serve me well, or do they do my head in? And if you're doing your own head in, then you need to get to that point of change, that tipping of the balance. But if you catch it right, if you catch it at that point where it does shift and you take action, I mean, change doesn't happen without action. There's only so much self-analysis and looking at yourself you can do. But if you keep doing that, but never take action, all you're going to spend your life doing is thinking about what you should be doing. And that, again, is the wrong side of the scales. So there you go. There's some thoughts, some ideas to ponder around change. And of course, if we know this in ourselves, we can look for it in other people. And so if we've got a friend who's a bit kind of like, oh, I wish things were different, blah, 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 we can try and encourage to that point where that desire to change suddenly becomes a better option and more exciting and more attractive than the desire to stay the same. That's helping them affect change. So this, knowing this stuff doesn't just benefit you, it benefits those around you too. We looked at a way of dealing with fears and phobias last time. And I want to share a similar pattern with you. And this one is to help you. Everything we do is governed by state. If we struggle during the winter, it's because we have a state of being, a state of mind that's causing us to struggle through winter. If we get socially anxious, we have a state of mind that is a socially anxious state of mind. States of mind can be changed. Again, the desire to change has to outweigh the desire to stay the same. But this is a way of slowly starting to work with yourself that I'm going to share with you, that will allow you to begin to make those changes in the patterns. And then we've talked about pattern interrupt before. I've talked about the handshake induction, where you kind of, a hypnotist will go shake someone's hand, and then they either shake it for longer than normally would be socially acceptable, or they kind of grab it and go, right, look at your hand. And we've done that, looked at stuff in that in the past. And I think there's some examples of that in the members area. So this pattern is one that will start helping you create better habits, better behaviors, better ways of thinking that serve you better, and letting go of the old patterns. It's not like a magic wand. It's not like you do it once and it changes. But if you practice it and keep practicing it and keep using it, eventually it'll become automatic. Once it's automatic, you don't have to think about this. You can just make those changes. So it's called the Stopp, double P at the end, pattern. So the first step of this is, maybe there's an aspect of yourself, maybe there's an aspect of your thinking, or you kind of recognize that, sometimes you think a certain way and that leads you down a certain way of feeling, into a state of mind where you're feeling sad or depressed or anxious. Yeah. But so you kind of become aware, first of all, initially, of the kind of things that trigger that, the kind of thoughts or the situations. But usually situations won't make you feel a certain way. How you interpret them and what you're telling yourself about them is inevitably, that's how we gauge the world. So whatever you tell yourself about a situation, whether it's past or present or into future, is what actually is causing you to feel the way you feel about it, not the thing itself. It's your interpretation of it that causes how you feel. And this helps us interrupt that as well. So you identify, I'm going to use like a little example of something like social anxiety. So you realize that you kind of struggle going and meeting your friends, and you kind of sometimes put it off, or more often put it off, because you start feeling anxious about it, because maybe you've got to go and walk into a place where you're all gathering and stuff, and it's, for a lot of us that seems like an easy thing to do. But if you have social anxiety, then it's not. I get that. But it's your thinking and what you're telling yourself about the situation that's causing the difficulty, not the situation. So you've realized what it is, and you realize that it's when you get that first text through from some friends going, oh, we're all going out for drinks on Friday. And you go, oh, great. And then suddenly you go, oh yeah, but what if people don't like what I'm wearing? What if I go in there and I can't find them straight away? You see, these are the thoughts that are taking you down that spiraling anxiety route. Yeah. So now you know what you're looking for. So the next time that text comes through, you're there and you start going, oh yeah, but it's usually that kind of thought. Oh yeah, but what if? What if I go there and it turns out to be the gate to hell? It's obviously not going to be. But the moment you notice that thought process, that thinking that leads you into the anxiety that then stops you from going, say to yourself in your mind straight away, stop. If you're by yourself, say it out loud, just go. The moment you recognize it, this takes a bit of self-work, a bit of self-discipline, but it's worth it. So the moment that thought process that leads you into that social anxiety starts, you go, stop. Making a big gesture, stop. Stop. Put your hand up, stop it. Step one side and go, stop. Do something different. Make an action that goes stop, or whatever you do that stops it. I think I've made that point. Then you take a deep breath. And you just focus on the breath straight away. Stop. Gently release it. As you're releasing it, what's happening? Well, actually, you're focusing now on the breath and not those thoughts. And once you've done that, then observe yourself, become aware of what you've just been thinking and what you're thinking about that situation. And ask yourself, how accurate is it? If you're thinking, oh, what they're going to think about what I'm wearing, most people only care about what they're wearing. Literally, no one really gives a damn. We like to think they do, but they don't. Everyone's just so caught up in their own world nowadays. If I'm sure if you turned up as like Ronald McDonald dressed as a clown, they might have something to say about it. But if you've just got your old pair of jeans and a comfy jumper on, no one bat an eyelid. No one really cares nowadays. Um, Being somebody who's dressed up quite outlandishly in the past and quite colourfully, I can promise you, people don't. People, strangers don't. No one ever comments anything. So become aware of what you're thinking about and ask yourself, how accurate is this? How valid are these thoughts? How realistic? Are they truthful? Is it really? I mean, probably isn't. Is there something more beneficial that you can be thinking about? So, okay, let's take the example. You've gone down that thought process of, oh, but what if I don't wear the right thing? What if I have to go to the back of the room to meet everybody? If they're at that table, everyone will see me walking and I'm not wearing the right. So you've got this spiraling pattern. You go, stop. Actually, realistically, are people gonna everyone's gonna be involved in their own conversations, really, aren't they? Yeah. And what else could I think about? Actually, could think about how great it's going to be to catch up with my friends. And I haven't seen Sid for a while, so that'll be good. That'll be that. You see, I'm just making this up in my head and changing that thought process, and it's making me smile. So, is there something more beneficial to be thinking about? Well, yeah. Oh, actually, and I owe Mike that fiver, so I give him that fiver. But even better, Dave owes me 30, so I'll just drop him a text now and go down there. I'll get my 30 quid back, and I reckon he's owed it me long enough. He'll probably get me a drink in that as well. Suddenly, I'm focusing on all the good possibilities, all the other things, the more beneficial things. Um, Instantly, I'm not necessarily even thinking about what I'm going to wear. I'm thinking about the outcomes, how I'm going to be feeling. Oh no, it'd be really good to catch up with them. We haven't had a laugh for a while, and work's been a bit stressful. So yeah, no, it's going to be really great. Change your thinking, and then pull back, examine the healthiness of these new thoughts, focusing on the future, focusing on your outcomes and goals. Outcomes and goals, it's not just like having a car and a big house. Outcome and goals is a goal is going out with meeting up with some friends for a drink and having a good time. If you've done that, it's a good goal. You've done it. So think about it. Think about how good it's going to be to meet up with those people. Think about catching up with people, getting that bit of money back that you owed, whatever it is. Think about the positives in that situation and the definites as well. Well, oh, I'm going to see Mike. It'll be great. I haven't chatted to him for months now, other than on the phone. So that's amazing. Um, you know, and then look at it. Is that if I want to go out and have a good time, am I now in a better headspace by thinking these things that's going to mean that I could go into that place and enjoy the evening? And if there's some little niggle in there still, ask yourself that same thing. What else can I be thinking? How else can I be thinking about this that will allow me to have a better outcome and a better goal? I want to go and have fun. So what are the thoughts I need to be having that will allow me to go and have fun tonight? And when you discover them, start thinking them, start going over them, start picturing yourself going in and saying hello to everyone, having a dance later on, whatever you're doing. And then practice, rehearse, do it. Just do it. Step into that place, step into that thoughts. If it helps, and you're imagining that everyone's going to be at the back of the room, just imagine, if you've got a kitchen or a living room, just stand in one corner and just kind of picture yourself going, oh yeah, look guys, hey, how you doing? And walking over to them confidently, thinking and feeling those things you've just been reviewing. the positives. So stop. The moment you notice those thoughts, behaviors that are detrimental, that don't serve you, tell yourself stop in your head or out loud if you can. Take a deep breath. That way you're focusing on your breath and not the state of mind. Observe those thoughts and kind of question them. Are they valid? Are they actually realistic? Actually, in the 3 seconds it takes me to walk to the back of the room, who on earth realistically is going to see me? They're all busy doing their own thing. There might not even be anyone in there other than my friends, in which case no one knows, no one cares. What can I be thinking here? What's more beneficial? Is there something more beneficial that I can be thinking about as I'm going in there, as I'm getting ready? So stop, take a breath, observe, pull back and put into perspective. Examine that and go, is this a healthier mindset? This is a better state of mind. If I'm thinking these things, is that a better way for me to go and have a good time? And if it is, practice, put it into action, behaving how you want to be instead, responding in a more beneficial way. So that's the stop process. And to end today's session, we're going to just do a nice guided meditation, hypno-y thing, like we do, for you to feel good by the end of this session and to allow what I've shared to sink into that part of you that can begin to understand how you can apply this to help you. Because obviously that's why meditate's about. You learning things that empower you to take responsibility for you. Whilst we're waiting for somebody else to fix us, someone else to wave a magic wand, we're never going to get the change we want. And remember, change happens when the desire for change is greater than the desire to stay the same. So let's have a fidget, get comfortable. And we'll begin by taking 3 deep breaths together. And as you may choose to close your eyes on the first breath, relax and focus within. You may choose to close your eyes on the second breath, relax and go within, or you may wait till the third breath before you close your eyes, relax and focus within. But whenever you close your eyes, relax and focus within, I know you can get the most from this. Just have a fidget, get comfortable. Taking a deep breath in, hold it and breathe out. Taking a deep breath in, hold it, breathe out. Taking a third wonderful deep breath in, hold it, and just breathe out. And if you've not done so already, just allowing your eyes to gently close, just in the time it takes for you to begin to let go of the week so far. And there's nothing to do, just relax. The more you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you can relax now with every breath you take and every word that I speak. That's right. And tell yourself, I am going to relax. I am going to journey within for a while. Everyday thoughts will not distract me. Sounds round about me will not disturb me. It all helps me just go deeper now. Letting go. Relaxing and letting go. And just following your breath. And maybe you'll go deeper within in a few breaths' time, or maybe you'll wait a little while longer before you go truly deeper within. But as you begin to settle into the natural rhythm of your breath, Allow your mind to soften and notice how, with each inhale, you invite a sense of calm, and with each exhale, you let go of anything that no longer serves you in this moment. Feel the stillness within, like the quiet at dawn, when everything is fresh and possible. That's right. And as you rest here, you may begin to realize that true peace isn't something you have to chase after. It's already within you, quietly waiting to emerge. Imagine now a space deep within, where a calm and steady presence resides. One that's been with you all along. It's from this place that you can choose to meet whatever life brings your way, knowing you are grounded, capable, and resilient. This peaceful part of you is like a seed, waiting to grow stronger with each moment you nourish it. And as you breathe, imagine that peace spreading gently, expanding within your body, softening any tension or stress. In this peaceful state, you are free to respond to life with greater ease, free to let go of worry and meet challenges with a calm and open heart. Feel how that inner calm allows you to flow with life rather than fight against it. Like a river finding its way around obstacles, always moving, yet never in haste. Now, imagine yourself meeting the moments of your day with kindness, not only towards others, but towards yourself. Feel how, with each breath, you are cultivating a deeper sense of compassion, a kindness that starts with accepting yourself as you are in this moment, and then naturally extends outward, touching the lives of those around you. Kindness is not something you need to force, but something that flows effortlessly from a place of inner balance. And that kindness comes with it. With that kindness comes an awareness of your strength. Not a forceful or rigid strength, but a quiet confidence that grows from your core. In this place of stillness, you realize that you don't need to control everything around you. There is power in releasing, in trusting that life unfolds as it should. As you let go of anger or frustration, you begin to feel a lightness, as though a burden has been lifted. Feel how that lightness allows you to navigate challenges with more grace, more resilience, trusting that from this place of peace, you can handle whatever comes your way. And as you continue to breathe, feel the sense of gratitude rising within you. A quiet recognition of the beauty and blessings that exist in your life right now. Even in the smallest moments, there is something to be grateful for. Let that feeling of gratitude grow, now expanding with each breath, filling you with warmth and a deeper connection to the world around you. Notice how, when you focus on what you're grateful for, a sense of abundance naturally flows. And in this state of abundance, you are free from the need to cling or grasp for more, because you know that everything you need is already within you. And finally, as you rest in this state of calm, strength, and gratitude, you may begin to realize that this moment, this life, is a continuous opportunity for growth. Not through striving or pushing, but through allowing yourself to be fully present. To respond with integrity and authenticity to each moment as it arises. You already have the wisdom within you to live this way. And with each breath, you allow that wisdom to grow stronger, more present in your daily life. Notice how, with each inhale, you invite in a deeper sense of peace, compassion, and trust. And with each exhale, you release any tension, any doubt, allowing space for these qualities to flourish within you. The more you cultivate this awareness, the more naturally you will begin to live from this place of inner harmony, where clarity, action, and understanding arise with ease. And as you continue to breathe, know that these seeds have been planted deep within you, waiting to grow with each day, each moment of awareness. Trust in the process. Know that you are already moving towards a life filled with more peace, kindness, gratitude, and clarity, simply by being yourself. That's right. And with that knowing, begin to return back now, ready to bring back everything you've gained, everything you've experienced, everything you understand, even if you don't have all that yet. Your unconscious mind knows exactly how to bring those qualities out to improve your life, to make those changes that you're ready to make and help you move towards the others. So when you're truly ready to feel good, then begin to feel a tingle in your toes and energy flowing up through to the top of your head, energizing, refreshing. And when you're ready to be back here, be back now, feeling really good, open your eyes, have a stretch, have a fidget, be here now. Wonderful. Fabulous. Just a reminder that this Sunday, the 22nd of September, we've got the Soothing Sunday session. So I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.